Assalamu alaikum. Hello. This is Halal Life and the chain of Halal, and today we will talk about the second thing that our Quran banned or prohibited, which is blood. And in the last episode we talked about the dead animals, Meita, and today we will talk about blood. And you know that the blood is not eaten as fresh, but before the Quran had been revealed, the people used it to collect fresh blood from living animals, and they use it to eat, to drink, or to cook it and to eat it. Now it doesn't exist, but still some consumption of blood, but indirectly in other foodstuffs or in other food products, or it's consumed as an ingredient in many foods, or some sausage are made partly from this blood. And you know that there is a big industry of blood industry, and also a sophisticated technology to extract a lot of compounds from blood. And the blood in the slaughteries is collected and stored under refrigeration under low temperature, because it may go it may undergo some reactions and some biochemical or chemical reactions, and it may spoil and it may get some alteration or modifications, chemical modification inside. So blood after collection, you know that it's separated into phases, and you have the liquid phase and the solid phase. But in the industry they use the centrifugation, the centrifugating technology for separating fastly and easily and time saving. And they use the centrifugating to separate this liquid phase from the solid phase, and they extract a lot of ingredients from this blood. So the plasma and the red cells, the albumin and globulin, also the fibrinogen, and they extract the myoglobin, the hemoglobin, and the yellow globin, and also the red globin. Okay, these ingredients are extracted from blood, and they are used as ingredients. And also this protein, the plasma from blood, is also separated in many other proteins. So, and what we call it, there is also a pigment, a color that can be used as dye, that the CCMP, and the CCMP is cured cooked meat pigment. It's used in many foods ingredients, but you can never know these ingredients in food when you buy a processed food, and you cannot read on the label that they are using plasma or albumin, serum albumin or something like this. It's not mentioned in the. And people now they worry about lecithin and gelatin from swine or from dead animals or from non-slaughtered animals or from non-halal animals. They are now worried about gelatin and lecithin, and also monoglyceride and diglycerides and a lot of other ingredients which can be obtained or processed from these non-halal foods. But people don't worry about these ingredients from blood. Blood can be used as meal, as a powder. I mean, it's dried and used as a powder in many products for human nutrition, and also as feed, as in food and feeds, also for animals, for feeding animals. And it's used also because of the color, and the color of the blood is red, and it is used for this color in many other ingredients. So for the human consumption. So the list is very long when you can find these products, and from the salad dressings and some yogurt and some bakeries products and some shaken proteins and sausages from meat. All the meat products may contain these ingredients, and you can find them also in some pastries or biscuits, and you can find them also in some dairy products and some feed and foods, and also for pets, the pets food, for dogs and cats also you can find these ingredients. And sometimes they are used to enrich the cereals, because the serum may contain a high amount of lysine, the amino acid, which is it's less concentration in cereals, and it can be added to bread or to any cereal products, to biscuits or to some breakfasts and some snacks. And you can find this because that's the plasma or the serum bovine albumin, the albumin from blood. It has some properties which are very beneficial and very important for the industry. For the industry may prefer the serum bovine albumin to some lecithin or some, because it may have the binding effect. It have a property of binding, and it have an effect of emulsifying agent. And it's used for both, and the same. It's in the same time it's a binding agent and emulsifying agent. And when it's used instead of many other things, like in bread, it's used in the bakeries, and the bakeries product is used instead of eggs because of the low cost. Because the eggs are, the bovine serum, the proteins from blood are cheaper than eggs, and sometimes it's used also for the nutrition of the people practicing sport. And also it's used in surimi, because it might inhibit some proteases in surimi, and as inhibitor in surimi. And we will talk about the use of these ingredients, and you can find them, but you can never see them on the label of many other products. Only the industrial should declare and should certify and should tell the people about his product, and should put everything on the label. And there should be a control. The control should be done for checking inside the factory and inside the plant all the ingredients used for making the product. Wafers, biscuits, or some snacks, or in bakeries, pastries, or sausages, or cheese, or all kinds of food can be checked, and the control has to check the ingredients used, and this control is the experts, and the experts may know these products, and they may know, and also the name, the brand, the branding and the brand name of these items, because it may sometimes it's sold under many names and you cannot know them, but we are sure as an expert, and because we worked 30 years in the laboratory for examining and for analyzing many foods, and we know that a lot of them now are being incorporated and being included in many foods now sold throughout the world. So the Muslims now living in non-Muslim countries are worrying and are checking and asking every time, does it contain some swine, or did animals or non-slaughtered animals, is it haram or halal? Yes, but we in our Muslim countries, we don't worry about anything, and we don't ask about anything. We are buying the same things are sold in the American countries, European countries. And now you know that with the international trade, that all the things you can find in the American countries, you can find them in the Asian countries, and you can find them also in the African countries. So because of the exchange, the trade exchange, and you can find in any ingredients everywhere, you can find it. And now in these Muslim countries, we have no control, and we don't worry about anything, and we don't ask, is it halal or haram? And this is not our problem. This is a big problem, and we should really oblige this society and these companies to make a stamp of halal on the label, to stamp the food and the packaged food halal. I think that in the Asian countries, like in Malaysia and Indonesia, and also in Singapore, and the many countries like in New Zealand and so on, they are now obliging all the companies to put the stamp halal. And even in Japan and in Korea also, they are now requiring the halal stamp on these foods. That why, because there are many clients, they can buy this product, and because to sell this product easily, it should be stamped halal. It's very good for the company, it's very good for the society, not very good for the consumer. This is a list of things that can be processed from blood, and next time, inshallah, we will talk about the use of these ingredients and how and why they use them. Because they are cheaper, and because they have some technological properties and characteristics that the industrials prefer to use them, because they make the food very, very soft and very good and very nice to see, and also very nice also to eat. And so in the next episode, inshallah, we will talk about the list of the foods and the feeds that you can find these ingredients from blood, and until that time, inshallah. See you. Assalamu alaikum.